5 more minutes. What's going on? How did I get here? Ah!
Good morning, players. Welcome to the Squid Game. Your first round is a game of red light, green light. If it sees you move, you are eliminated.
Excuse me, I'm not supposed to be here. I don't even have a tracksuit on me.
Your time begins now. Green light. Red light.
That's you!
Player eliminated. Green light.
Get off, get off, get off! I'm in the upside down? Ah! Now what? Oh, what a relief. Ah! Stop that! Okay, what is the meaning of this? Floor 932, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Black Knights, Killer Rabbits, and Bridge Keepers from Scene 24. Hold floor and step on it. Excuse me, Mr. Evan. Evan the Elevator Man. Evan, what is going on here? How did I get here? And what's with all these pop culture references? Oh, Freddy Funko want everyone who played Funko Fusion a chance to play with some of these new toys for the video game. So we transported your very own box while you were asleep and teleported you to some random Wonder Worlds. Okay, first off, none of these franchises were from the Funko Fusion video game. And second, all those new toys were all trying to kill me. Yeah, your box sent you to the Wonder World suggestion box. Ever since 1010 Games started milking franchises, everybody's been flooding with a whole bunch of ideas of what they want to see. That makes sense. And even if you didn't survive, you would still be sent back to where you came from and wake up like a dream. Well, this would have been nice to know before everything. First floor, Wonderworks Factory, Funko Pops, Mega Freddy's, and Office DLCs. Still better than having more Lego Fortnites. In a world where every toy gets a spotlight in the entertainment industry, possibly one of the most obscure ideas to ever get its own video game is Funko Pops. What's best described as a motionless bobblehead, Funko has a wide variety of characters that you wouldn't believe, from movies, TV shows, video games, anime, fast food mascots, and even real people. But over the years, Funko Pop has been highly profitable. While I'm not a huge collector of these figurines, I did get a few of them in the past. My personal favorites would have to be Anger from Inside Out and the Purple Minion from Despicable Me 2. But going back to the Funko video game, this is actually the first ever game developed by 1010 Games. What's interesting about this gaming studio is that it was founded by John Burton and Arthur Parsons. If those names sound familiar to you, they're the same people who did tons of work on the LEGO video games at TT Games. You name them: LEGO Star Wars, LEGO Batman, and of course, LEGO Dimensions. However, when Funko Fusion was finally available on the newer consoles like the Xbox Series, PC, and PS5, it was off to a rough start for the toy video game in terms of difficulty settings and rendering. Now for this review, I'll be looking over the video game from the PlayStation 4 version. I didn't really get the newer consoles on time, so I had no choice but to wait until Funko Fusion was available for one of the old ones that I got. Now that I gave the game some time to be fully accessible with some updated tweaks, did it really put the fun in Funko Pops? Welcome to another episode of the Wonder Reviews. It's time to play with these bobbleheads in a different way. This is Funko Fusion. The game is set in a Funko Pop factory where Freddy Funko, the toy mascot, gets under attack by his evil counterpart named Eddie. The clone tries to steal his crown, but it's been split into many versions of it, while Eddie plots to take over the Funko realms called Wonder Worlds. The player's mission is to explore the Funko worlds based mostly on universal properties, find the world crowns, and defeat Eddie once and for all. So based on the plot summary, this isn't anything new. An all-powerful entity wants to take over the toy universe, and it's up to the pop culture heroes to join forces and defeat him. This all sounds like a LEGO Dimensions clone. But, in the right hand, it can work just as long as you bring out something unique. So how did it go? Well, it's more like a double-edged sword. On the positive side, the element of Funko Pops does make the concept unique, gives out all the universal picture properties a chance to shine as video game levels, and the jokes involving the characters' large heads are pretty cute and funny. On the other hand though, it can feel like Funko Fusion didn't really fully unlock its true potential with its crossovers or the toys concept. Because of this, it's not as fully welcome to newcomers and doesn't explain everything that's going on, like who is Freddy and what makes him special, what's the purpose of Funko Pops, and more. When it comes to the Funko worlds, it also varies. There are some worlds like Scott Pilgrim, Jurassic World, Hot Fuzz, Masters of the Universe, and The Thing that can easily explain their franchises through structure. The same can be said about the cameo levels like Invincible, Back to the Future, Five Nights at Freddy's, Shaun of the Dead, and Jaws. But some worlds or levels don't really explain their plot lines or world building very well, like Battlestar Galactica, Umbrella Academy, Jordan Peele's Nope, and the 1999 Mummy movie. And all the other IP characters that appear in this don't even have their own Funko worlds like the others. They're only here as extra side missions. That's the major advantage that LEGO Dimensions have. It gives you an idea of what these franchises are, and you get to play in their worlds or levels respectfully. The more time you spend with the characters and explore the realm's lore, the more you understand almost everything. That's how it welcomes someone like me to stuff like Doctor Who or Portal. Here though, we don't know everything about these selected franchises, especially to the side quests from Voltron, Xena, Knight Rider, and more. If they were given their own level, maybe we can learn why Legendary Defender is a popular Voltron show, or why Xena is a popular warrior princess. For the most part, all that we know about Freddy Funko and the other characters is identifying who's good or evil. The only character that's given any sort of development is Eddie. What's interesting about him is that he represents the fear and despair that Freddy bottled up for so long and wants to become powerful so he can feel complete. And he's the only character that has full dialogue during his backstories, voiced by Clancy Brown.
I have strength now, direction, and I thirst for something more.
Basically, the game wants to be a Universal game first before a Funko video game, since Freddy's pretty much out of commission until the very end, and Eddie just transformed into one of the main villains from the world. If you ask me, this game makes me want to watch a Universal property than to get a Freddy, Proto, Foxo, or Eddie figure. Since the main selling point is to play Funko Pops, how do they work as a video game? Although it doesn't feel like a LEGO video game like the founders did in the past, for what it is, the gameplay is pretty decent. Starting with the abilities, the characters you play either have an armed weapon to smack down their enemies, or a long-range weapon to shoot them. Other moves include jumping with the X button, running by holding down the left analog stick, and dodging an opponent attack by rolling or using a shield. But these are not the only power-ups available. There are also special tools like a battery, a portal, an AMP, a fluorescent camera, an exploding fuel tank, a gramophone, and an automatic turret. To unlock these items, you have to go to the first level of the franchise they came from, collect 3 blue squares called proto parts, and put them in the blue machine. Some you can use for free just as long as you're still in their respective worlds, but the rest has to be paid with in-game money known as vinyl. In addition, if you have enough vinyl, you can buy new skin variants for your characters, more power-ups, and receive a silver crown at the end of the level. The latter is what you need to unlock new levels and get more gold crowns. In each level, you can get them by finding silver chests, solving puzzles, flipping floor switches under a time limit, fighting miscellaneous enemies, and destroying special level artifacts to unlock them. The more silver crowns you collected, you can exchange them for gold crowns that will unlock new floors or levels. But if you want to go to some of the cameo levels or do a character side quest, you need some specific abilities from a character or tool to enter them. However, I do have one issue with the character side quests. Once you meet that Funko Pop character for the first time and finish the mission, you won't get to play as them that easily. You have to find them again from the other levels, and you have to do the quest again 6 more times for each of them. These include battling against Chucky or Megan, protecting Mega Man or Xena from enemies, finding some items for Voltron and John Hammond, and racing against Michael Knight and his car Kit. See why I prefer all of them to have their own levels instead of this? Another collection issue I would have is the red weapon pro parts. The chest puzzles are good like the green ones, it's just that there are times when some enemies would glow red and you had to defeat them to get the piece. Well, that's fine and all, if the bad guy wasn't far away from me and you're under a short time limit. And once you miss them, they don't come back until you replay the level. The only long collections that flow smoothly are the Foxo Bari parts and the Kentucky Fried Chicken buckets because they do feel like they fit the bill of finding all of them from beginning to end like a bonus prize. As for the enemies that battle against you, it really does depend based on the level's difficulty. Some will shoot you in a wide range, a swarm of them may try to surround you, and just when you think you got rid of all of them, some levels like Invincible will spawn more enemies non-stop behind your back. If you lose all your health, your character dies, drop your power up, and becomes a ghost. To come back to life, you have to go to the nearest Funko box, and spend your vinyl on reviving yourself. But on the plus side, many of the boss battles are a lot of fun. Whenever Eddie corrupts some villains, you have to shoot down some purple spots and collect as much as you can so you can fill up the containment unit. Filling it up will unleash a giant Funko Pop figure and deliver the final blow. While over time, they managed to fix some of the glitches that were addressed from the original release on the other consoles, there can be some that are still present in the PS4 version, like having some object getting stuck between walls and stuff. Thankfully, they didn't distract me very much and I got through the game okay. But, if I can be honest, the one thing I enjoyed the most about the game that's not being talked about that much are the visuals. As a video game that's a tie-in to the toy product, the production is surprisingly really nice to look at, whether you've seen these franchises or not. When it comes to the Funko characters themselves, although they don't move exactly like they do in the real world, their character animation is pretty smooth and has some nice over-the-top moments with some of their slapstick comedy. Plus, the designs do stay true to the source material they are based on and contain a wide variety of enemies and NPCs. The same thing can be said about the character skins you unlock. And what's even more interesting, if your character gets beaten severely, set on fire, becomes a zombie, or whatever, those side effects become permanent until you heal, switch a character, or finish a level. Speaking of which, the special effects are also impressive to some elements like fire, water, ice, lightning, purple goo, or even blood. Even the lighting is pretty good on some selected areas like the Kira Investigations or inside Freddy Fazbear's. While the Wonderworks factory does look colorful as a toy factory, the franchise world definitely feel like you entered the movies or programs. Some show a grand scale of the realms like Jurassic World or Battlestar Galactica, some are simple but well detailed like Jaws or Hot Fuzz, and there are even some levels that have unique art styles like Masters of the Universe or Invincible. And whenever you unlock an Eddie cutscene, the 2D imagery is nice but sometimes limited. But what's even cooler is the background music. Not only is it really nice to listen to, but many of them were real soundtracks from the shows and movies. From the Jaws theme song to the iconic moment when Prince Adam transforms into He-Man. Even though I haven't seen some of these franchises, I can tell the developers want to stay true to the source material and put in many Easter eggs and references as possible, and they did a good job with it. This really is a bizarre and risky idea to make a Funko Pop video game using Universal movies and TV shows, but once I start exploring the worlds they came from, I think I kinda have fun with this game. Funko Fusion is a very complicated game on its own. If it was handled a little bit better, it would have been one of the best video games based on a toy line, like Lego. But as it is, it does have some problems like tedious character side quests and lackluster story and intro to some franchises. Does that mean it's a bad game? Not really. It does have some good moments like nice visuals, decent gameplay, and unique crossover with Universal Pictures. For my recommendation, I say buy this if you're a major fan of the Funko Pop collection. That and older Universal fans, they'll enjoy it as well. If you're not, I say play the demo or watch a gameplay footage on YouTube to decide if you're interested in it. Well, it's not considered disappointing as something like South Park Snow Day, but it's not one of the greatest video games like Astrobots. But I don't regret playing this because I kinda have a good time with it during my free time. It still sounds like a clever idea to find another LEGO Dimensions. And hey, if they do decide to add more expanded chapters or new Funko games starring Disney, Warner Brothers, or other properties, I'm still open to that possibility. Just keep the good parts and fix some of the flawed ones, and this video game might turn out extraordinary. But for my overall grade, at least for now, I'm giving Funko Fusion a B-. It may have some issues in general, but personally, I don't mind playing it again. And so, before we wrap things up, I'd like to give my top 10 personal favorite Funko Fusion worlds. Number 10, Back to the Future. Number 9, Hot Fuzz. Number 8, Battlestar Galactica. Number 7, The Mummy. Number 6, Invincible. Number 5, Masters of the Universe. Number 4, Jurassic World. Number 3, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Number 2, Five Nights at Freddy's. And number 1, Jaws. I'm Matt Harpatrick. Now if you excuse me, I got more stuff to put into the suggestion box. Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, Cuphead, Willy Wonka, Labyrinth, Pokemon, Hocus Pocus, Agatha All Along, The Mandalorian, The Muppets, Twin Peaks, Toy Story, It, Beetlejuice. Well, that's one way to get a game over. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.